Yeah, I think there was
Yeah.
this 1 hour limit on the Instagram, so I
Yes,
think
yes.
the video. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so this is for the, just a second, sir. This is for the information of all the participants and the viewers that the video has been saved and put as IGTV video. So it can be accessed later on also. And now we continue with the session with, so yes, sir.
hello,
Yes, sir, you may continue.
hello.
Yes, sir, you may please continue.
Yeah, is the image visible to everyone?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yeah, so we were talking about the strategy part, and then we were talking about the issue of like the CPC that we dealt with. Now, what I want to focus and I want to bring into everyone's notice is that the scheme and pattern of the examinations. There are three stages for any of the judicial services examination in any state, be it Andhra Pradesh, be it Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar, MP. The very first stage is PT, what we call preliminary examination. The second one is mains examination, and the third one is interview part. If
Yes.
if I particularly if I particularly talk about UP Judicial Services examinations, it consists of in preliminary examination there are two papers of 150 and 300 marks. 150 and paper one is of GK and GS, that comprises of 150 marks, and paper 2 is of law, that comprises of 150 questions and is of 300 marks. Negative mark, people have been asking that is there negative marking concept in the examination? Yes, there is negative marking concept in the examinations from 2018, and uh, for GK, like 150 question in the paper one of GK and GS, they carry 1 mark each, whereas in law section, one question carries 2 marks each. For every one question you are awarded and mark, but where if you have like if the question went wrong, then 0.33 is deducted. So there is this negative marking concept in the examinations. Once you qualify for the preliminary exam, then in UP Judicial Services there are 5 papers in the mains exam. The very first paper is of GK and GS, and all the 5 paper comprises of 200 marks each. So it total makes a 1,000 marks paper. So this is the thing I was talking about, that mains is the backbone of your selection, because the interview is of only 100 marks. The main criteria of your selection and getting a good rank in your first attempt, or whatever you want to try for or give for, is that you should be scoring very highly in mains in the 1,000 marks paper. So paper one in UP Judicial Services is of GK and GS. Paper two Paper two is language paper, in which there is Hindi to English translation and English to Hindi translation. Then there is a précis writing, and it also consists of essay. Then we come for the third paper. The third paper is of substantive law, and substantive law consists of several laws. For example, Contract Act, Transfer of Property Act, the Constitution of India. All these are covered into the substantive law portion. The Hindu law, the Muslim law of torts. All these are covered in the third paper. The fourth paper comprises of the procedural law. The procedural law consists of there will be a particular 80 marks for the judgment writing, for the judgment writing, and or you can write a plain or written statement. So in procedural law paper, for 80 marks, there is this judgment writing that is given to you as a problem. They will be giving you a problem, and then they will be giving you a problem, a situation. For example, if we take that a murder has been committed, there has been theft, and then there is murder is committed of a person. They'll give you this set of facts, and then you have to frame the charges frame the charges, and thereafter you have to appreciate the evidences, and thereafter you have to give a judgment. So this is a judgment writing that is there, and but it is optional. You can also go for a plaint and WS that is there. That you will be there will be a civil problem given to you, that suppose that there was a contract between A and B for the contract of sale of goods. Due to some due to if you take some act of God or any mishappening, the contract was frustrated. The contract came to an end. So now, upon these set of facts, you have to prepare a plaint on the basis of the petitioner, and thereafter you have to you have to frame the WS on behalf of the defendant. So this comprises of 80 marks. Apart from this 80 marks, that there for 120 marks you'll be having the procedural law papers, the CRPC, the CPC, as well as the evidence. These things will be there. The fifth paper is of local laws, the local laws that are particularly there in the state of UP. So currently there are like 6 local laws. So if I tell you, the same way I studied in my law school, there were the local laws, that is, there is this local law subject that was taught to us in the 5th year. So local law subject particularly deal with the rent laws, the tenancy and the rent laws, the Zamindari Abolition Act. So there in UP, it may differ from state to state. These are the local laws that are passed by the state parliament. So there is no you cannot say that the same local laws apply to Delhi as well. In Delhi there is only Delhi Rent Control Act, and the local laws differ from state to state. In the state of MP, you have only 2 local laws. So it differs from state to state. In UP, you have 6 local laws, and then you also have IPC of 50 marks that is included in the fifth paper. In local laws, you have 150 marks for the local laws. That is there 6 acts that are there, and my camera is paused over.
Yeah.
Wait. I'll join again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it fine now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was telling about that in mains there were like 5 papers. I have already dealt with what all they consist of. And mind you, like that paper 1, paper 2 are very much scoring papers, because everyone knows the law. Everyone studies the law in their law school as well. After once they graduate, this is the thing in which you are in constant touch. But when it comes for the GK and for the language portion, people very much lack, especially the students of the national universities, because we do not know much about Hindi. If we are not from a Hindi background and we are not very well versed with Hindi, we often find the problem of writing Hindi, because there are very much grammar mistake, and there are and the sentence framing things which are there. For Hindi, you should be like at least what my point of view and my suggestion would be that take any of the online exercises, or pick up any of the easy paragraphs in a paper. Try to translate it in English. And you do the same thing. You pick up a English newspaper, and then you try to translate the same into the Hindi language as well, and get it checked by any of the person in your family or any mentor or your friends who are well versed in Hindi as well as English, who can correct you if you are like self-preparing for the same. Thereafter, before the mains examination and in the states where Hindi is particularly asked, I have like in my mains examination for like one month before from the examination of mains, I read Jansatta. There is this Jansatta newspaper which I studied, and it really helped me with the choice of words as well, because there may be many things which we know, but we do not know the correct way of expressing it in Hindi. So, like, and then you will be, the choice of words will also look nice in your translation as well as in your essays if you want to write. So, for Hindi, I would suggest that before your mains examination, at least 1.5 months or 2 months before, you should be starting reading a particular Hindi newspaper, maybe Dainik Jagran or any Dainik Bhaskar or any of the local newspaper that is being local Hindi newspaper that is circulated in the area. But I preferred Jansatta and I prepared from that. So I used to do every day before my mains. Every day I used to translate at least 2 paragraphs in Hindi as well as 2 paragraphs in English. I got it checked. And I read the newspapers, and thereafter I jotted down what are the main or what are the difficult words and beautiful words what I can express in my language paper, in my essay, or through my translation. What choice of words, if I would add in my things, it will give an edge to me over others. As I always said that there are people like we people are from national universities, and mostly people who may be watching the videos maybe from the 3-year law school, from BHU, from DU. So so these people may in their graduation like BA, BCom, they may have studied Hindi, so they have a better edge upon you, the people who are into the 5 years law program, because we do not have Hindi as a subject in any of our curriculum, so we have to do it on our own. So this is what I want to suggest to them, that at least before your mains examination, you should translate, pick up a paragraph and translate it in Hindi as well as from English to Hindi. And you should be doing the same. For the GK, for the GK part, it is very much important, because if you see the GK part in UP, if I tell you, 200 marks paper of GK and GS comprises of the 120 marks. 120 marks comprises of the GK and current affairs, whereas the 80 marks is the history, geography, economics, and the science and tech portion that is asked in the examination. So for this, what I studied was I took up NCERT books. Now they are very much easily available on online platform as well. You can easily download books on your phone or on your laptops, and you can study it if you do not want to go and buy the NCERT books, because I do not think that people may be having their NCERT books with them, or people may be in the ICSE background or the state boards background as well. So buy NCERT books of history and geography of class 8 to 12 and do study that. You won't find any problem. You won't find any problem studying the same, because the language is pretty easy. You won't find any language issues. One more suggestion: when you are studying geography, beside you should have Indian political map as well as world political map in your room. I would suggest that you should be having the same in just above your study table. The Indian political map as well as the world political map, because whenever you will read geography, there would be you will be reading about the hills, the oceans, the particular known districts, or the wars, or the ancient things, the ancient civilization that has happened. So it will be very much easy to locate on the map. Always go and see where are the places exactly located, because because the frame of questions is very diversified in the PT examinations as well. They may ask you any kind of like questions, like in the state of UP, like these are very normal questions. From north, decide from north to west the boundaries of UP. In how many states the boundaries of UP is connected to? How many states does the boundary of UP is located to? It touches with how many countries the boundary of India touches with, or we share our boundaries with. Which countries are there in the north? We share our boundaries. So you should have this map in front of you, because you will have whenever, because if you persistently look upon the map, you will have an image in your mind. But because if this will be in front of a study table, it would be very much easy to locate the places, to locate the rivers. It would be very much easy to locate those things and to have the pictorial representation of the same in your mind. So suppose whenever you are writing and you are attempting the pre or the mains, and if the and there is a question from the same geography person is asked from you, so you can very well answer from the pictorial the pictorial graph of the thing that you have in your mind. I always had these things in my mind, and you will find in every aspirant's room, you will find these basic things that are there. Sticky notes should be there. What is your day-to-day action? What things you have to do? How you have to approach? What things you have to study today? What is your goal for today? Which sections you have to study? This should be right in front of you, right above your study table, so that when you see them, you get this motivation, or you get this pressure in your mind that yes, today my plan of action is this. I have to complete these are the portions. So your mind will work accordingly to that. So it's always better to have sticky notes before you make a wall of your own there, and there should be sticky notes in front of you. And that you may also, like what I used to do is for particular and different subjects, I always pasted the landmark cases of the particular section and particular subjects on the wall. If you when I was living in Delhi, my room was like many of the my juniors and my seniors and my colleagues have also visited my place in Delhi. So they have seen that my whole room was like just covered with papers, and there were certain walls that where there were the case laws of the ITC that were written. Then there was this particular wall on which the particular section and the important landmark cases of the constitution were written. Then there was this thing where I have always marked things on the map. So it was always easy for me. So you have to be creative, you have to be organized, and you have to be a fun-loving kind of person, and you should be playing with your subjects. I always played with my subjects. I never felt it as a burden to study. I always played with my subjects. I thought that I just like keep thinking about things that I've studied, and I should always be like having a flip through whenever I'm just walking around in the flat or going anywhere. I just had those things in my mind running. So these things very much develop your the mental capability, and the memory also becomes very sharp. It is very easy to revise all those things because they are right in front of you. You do not have to flip the pages, but you also need to make the separate registers. Now, when I come for paper one, I would also suggest people to have separate registers for history and geography as well. I always had this separate registers for everything. For history, I had a separate register. For geography, I had a separate register. For current affairs, I have a separate notebook. For law papers also, I had separate registers for everything. So it would be very much easy to look upon the things and in very organized manner. I never went into like very tremendous study or very laborious one. I went for the smart study. I organized my study in a smarter way, in the way which I could recollect things, the way in which I can sharpen my memory. So these were some of the tactics that I always used, and I would always suggest people to learn first to read, then to memorize, and then to write on the notebook, and you should maintain it. You should like it should not be taken into a very easy manner, easy to go, like कि हाँ बना लेंगे चलता है ये वो, because when you want to compete and when you want to like excel in your first attempt, these are the things which an ideal aspirant should work upon and should always do. This is what I think, that you should be way smarter. You should be way smarter than people, always, because you are not competing with yourself. You are competing with thousand other people from thousand other areas. They are in thousand other places. Some may have the resources, some may not have the resources, but you have to like compete with them only. Once you are once you are out of the law school, then the competition is not between your people, your batchmates only, then it's a global one from people from every university. This is for the judicial services examination. So they have different approach. So these are some kind of approach that what I like imbibed in my schedule, and what I want to convey to my juniors or the people whom I connect with. Yeah.
Okay. So there's this question about your interview. Like, how did you face your panel? What should be the decorum? How should you present yourself? What should be the demeanor, etc.?
Yeah. Uh, the basic thing for the interview is that you should not be the person who like who has a fake kind of attitude, or you build up your personality. You should never be like, because the people who are there in the panel, and there are for example, if you talk about UP Judicial Services examination, there are 4 to 5 people there are in the panel. There is a sitting or retired high court judge who's there in the panel. There is one public service commission member who's there. Then there is a subject expert. He may be a professor of that particular subject of law, and then there is this psychologist who just studies the way you respond to the questions, the way you interact with them, your body language, the way you speak. So it is very, so what I want to tell you is that you cannot just fake off things and just get away, because there are like 4 people, and they will be like asking you questions. They obviously they will not make you so much nervous. For the first thing that they do is that make you comfortable. Then they start grilling you and asking questions, and then they test your patience, your nervousness, your skill of art, how you present yourself, how you convince them, your body language. So the very first thing is that you should be humble. You should be humble. Humility should be there in your conduct. You should be always be pleasant. You should not be like too much smiling to them. You should not be too much serious to them. But you should be having an average balance of systems. Like you should not be like too much eager and excited to speak. Like let them once complete. Then you should be. Then you have the time to like go and answer for the question. For my and the other thing is that you should be everyone should be working to build their personality, what they are. If you have not studied a particular thing and you do not know a particular thing in the interview, it is never advised and suggested to just go off and say, sir, I do not have so much clear idea, I have a vague idea. Do not just like beat around the bush, come to the point, because people over there will not judge you, because you have been already been judged already in the pre-T and in the mains examination. Once you are there in the interview, the panelists and the judges already know that this person has come through a long way now. Like he knows the fundamentals of the law, and this is the notion that they have about you. And you should be a bit vocal. So the best thing that I would suggest people, if they're facing their interview, is that you should be like in front of the mirror, be in front of the mirror and talk. This is the best way. And many of the civil services aspirants and many of the judicial services aspirant have done it, who are already serving, who have already been selected. They have already done it. I already did it. I found it a bit uncomfortable for the very first time and the second time, but for the third and the fifth time and for the 10th time, I wasn't hesitated to look upon myself, and I was just like, there are particular questions which is asked from everyone, like tell me something about yourself, introduce yourself. So like these are the particular things in which way you can like answer facing the mirror. So you'll be getting an idea. Talk to the mirror, because you are your best opinion, you are your best critic. No one else can be. There may be people, it is very well advised to attend the mock trial sessions of the interview that is organized by the other coaching other coaching institute, it is very well advised that you should go for the mock trial sessions. You should enroll if you are selected for the interview, because it becomes a do and die situation, because that is one of the last step of that is the last step towards the selection and the way where you are. If that thing is not very well accomplished, then you come back to level 1. Then again you have to go for PT, again you have to go for main. So at the interview level, do not take chances of beating around the bush. Very first thing, you should be clear with the things that you know. And if you don't know anything, you just be humble and say, sir, I plead ignorance I plead ignorance, or sir, sorry, I do not know about this particular thing, but once I go back to home, I will surely read about it. So this is one of the best way to handle your interview and to balance your interview. The type of convincing person you are. There are people in my batch, and even I am there. There were like questions which I did not answer. There was this one question. Sometimes you may be asked questions of such types that you'll be amazed that यार क्या पूछ लिया, मतलब ऐसे. Like if I tell you about my interview, the question that was very much the first question that was asked about me is that do you read case laws? I was very much clear because I've read case laws. I was 100% honest. I said yes, I have read case laws. So have you gone through the recent? Have you read all the case laws, Manika? So I said no, sorry, ma'am. It is not possible to read all the case laws, but I try to read all the landmark case laws which are there. And though I have not read all of them. So this is the way of answering a question. I do not know all of the case law, but I try to read almost all the landmark ones. So the next question that they posed was like, do you read have you gone through the recent case laws or the latest landmark cases? And I said, yes, ma'am. She was a lady who was interviewing me. The first question was posed by her. I said, yes, ma'am, I know about it. She asked about my opinion then. Which of the case law do you consider is one of the landmark in the recent times? Obviously, I went for, as I talked about, the right to privacy one. Justice retired case Putuswamy versus Union of India. I said that is the 9-bench unanimous decision of the Honorable Supreme Court, and that is one of the best landmark case laws. And so there came the question of the another question which you people may be surprised कि कैसे answer करें, and you will then facial expression of you will be tensed. मतलब तुम्हारा एक ऐसा facial expression आएगा कि that that he is getting nervous. You do not have to be nervous. Have self-confidence in yourself. The next question that they posed was, tell me the number of judges who were there in this case. I told that there are 9. So the next thing was, can you tell me about the names of the judges? Obviously, nobody can remember. Nobody can remember. There are hundreds of landmark cases that is being decided by the Supreme Court, but nobody can remember. But I have this extra edge. I said you that taking an extra edge over the people always matters a lot. So I went through some of the honorable judges' opinion and observation. So I told them like 5 to 6 names. They were a bit satisfied. I said, ma'am, I do not know everyone's name, but I will give a try. At least I know like 5 to 6 names. They said to go on. Like then they get a notion of notion of your thing, that yes, you are not just saying that you know the things, you actually know it. So the very first thing is you should be 100% true what you are and what you have read. If you do not know anything, do not go and say I know this thing, because your answers pave the way of your interview. You only decide the way or you channelize your interview. It is 100% guaranteed. Nobody will jump upon their opinions upon you. They will get a hint from your answer, and they'll pose a question. Then it gets started. And it does not end until another person intervenes, another panelist intervenes, and he starts with a new set of facts and opinions. So like this way my interview was going. I wasn't tensed. I was just humble. Be courteous to them, and especially maintaining eye contact is one of the best things to do in the interview. Like when like in Delhi Judicial Services examination, I think there are two panelists only. In UP there are four. In some states there may be three, there may be four. But it is always not one person who is taking your interview. It is always be a multiple persons. So the best way to have an interaction is to engage everyone into when while you are answering. Is to engage everyone. Like if a particular person, like person A asks you a question about something, while you are answering, you should be maintaining the contact, the eye contact, while you are answering with person B, C, and D as well, who are into your interview. Obviously, you see, you give more emphasis to person A because he has initiated the question and he has asked the question, but you should not let person B, C, and D to get disinterested of you. You should be like seeing all of them in a particular way and answering your questions and putting your point of view. That is one of the best way to engage your panelists into the interview section. One more thing that you may face in the interview is that while you are looking at them, the person who are other panelists who are sitting, if they have not seen you, they do not see you, they do not make eye contact with you, do not get demotivated or do not get tense that they are not looking at me, or these are some of the interview tactics that is there. People will not engage you or they will not look upon you while you are answering. They will see here and there. Like this was happening in my interview. Like the psychologist that who was sitting in my interview, he did not look at me while I was answering. He was seeing here, he was seeing the roof, he was seeing here, and he did not had an eye contact with me. But while I was answering to other people and the people who were asking questions from me, while I was listening to them, he was very much pertinent to me to observe me. So people do observe you a lot. So this is one of the things is to engage everyone into while you answer. Not only the not you do, you should not answer the person who has asked you the question, but you should be looking towards everyone, making an eye contact with them. That because that like choose the words what you speak. Do not speak anything. Choose the words while you speak. You may take time. Like if a particular question is asked to you, then you may take a particular time, 2 3 seconds, or a pause of 4 to 5 seconds. They won't say anything. If you ask the if you will say, sir, just I need a moment to answer this question, they will be happily giving you the time. So it is always there, and I tell you, it always depends what kind of attitude you have. Also, one of the don'ts that is there in the interview is that you should not do is moving your hands here and there. You should not move your hands like here and there and telling them. You should be sitting patiently, and you should be only your head should be like engaging them into their talks. You should not be like showing your hands or the fingers or explaining here and there things. Avoid this. Avoid this. This is not liked by the people out there. What I want to tell you, this is not at all liked by the people. So these are the things which be taken while you go for the interview, and nothing else. You should be confident. Be confident that you know things. Now you have reached the interview stage. You know things, and just be confident whenever you answer. Be humble. Be accept wherever you don't know, because they will never judge you upon the things that you don't ask. They will not judge you. They'll just shift to the another question. But if you say a false statement that you know about a particular thing and then you are unable to prove the same, then the panelists or the judges who are there in the panel, they get to know that you are not one of those serious candidates for the same. Like there were many questions put to me of the experiences. They may not be asking all the questions about your related to your subject thing or your studies. They may ask you about your opinion. What is your opinion upon cow slaughter? What is your opinion upon handling of cases? What will you do if there is a strike? If there is a strike goes in your court, what if the lawyers go on a strike? How will you decide a matter? So these are the things that has to be you should be thinking upon also. And you should never criticize any state agency. You should not criticize any of the high court judgments or the supreme court judgments, though they may be bad in the eyes of law. But you should not be going on in a critical way to just go and like criticize, had it been like this, had it been like this, what this opinion and this observation was wrong, or this is state of the particular state government, or this. Do not be choosy into the religious and the sensitive issues. Do not let you like your main opinion coming out that, oh, should there be a cow slaughter. You should be giving your answers or opinions in context to the Constitution of India. Constitution of India is supreme. You should always be thinking in your mind in most of the answers that most of the questions that is being asked to you. You should be always be focusing that it can it be related to the Constitution of India? Can it be related? If it can be related, you should go. Like in your answers, have this thing that the rule that, as we say, that rule of law is there, and the Constitution is the supreme document that governs everyone. So every answers of yours should not be politically biased or personally biased or any. You should not give any casteist remarks to them. You should not be like giving your opinions upon these issues. What do you think? Either you are a very pro thing, pro one. You should be always be talking in the light of the Constitution and into the limitations and the foundations of Constitution of India. What does Constitution say? Like if we go for the beef ban, then we can go by the judgment that it was decided in that judgment, and the Supreme Court and honorable judges of the Supreme Court has rightly observed that this thing is there, and then there is this right of people to eat the things, but there also is the responsibility of the state. And, because the idea of a welfare state is there, the idea of the state is to impose reasonable restrictions, but we have to check those reasonable restrictions in the light of Constitution, whether they are violating the fundamental rights or not. So this kind of like going into the interview and modus operandi is always welcoming, is always good and welcoming. And I don't think that you will find any confusion or they will be like because they will be never be asking you to criticize this thing or give a critic account of this thing. They may ask what do you think are the loopholes that the Indian judiciary is facing? Like this was the particular question was asked to me, and it was and it is a particular situation. We should not like we cannot run away from it. So there comes the idea of reading newspaper and editorials. I went by the facts that was provided in the editorials. It helped me on it. I told you that if you read about editorials of the newspapers, you will get to know the people who talk about pro of anything and the people who talk about con of anything. Both opinions are welcome, and it is upon you to choose that what suits you the best. So when this question was asked to me that how can you expedite the cases, or what do you think that there should be three things that you can do for expedite and disposal of the cases in India? First thing I said obviously was that there is lacuna in the appointment process of the judges of the high courts as well as the lower subordinate judiciary. The very first thing, and it is a universal truth, and it cannot be denied. You are not being critical about it. You are just tackling this question with your model answer or your model way of tackling it. The very first thing I talked about was the appointment of judges. That there should be speedy appointment of judges in the High Court, as the issue of the people, the lacks of people to a particular judge is very much big in India in comparison to US and other states. So I compared this. The second thing I talked about is the knowing of the case status, digitalization of hello,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, I think there was this disruption. The second thing that I talked about was digitalization of the codes. That if that a party every now and then has to the so if there is this digital system that will be implemented in our country, and it is there now. E-services app is also there, and there is very much things which are going as we are seeing. The courts are going into the area in the phase of virtual court, where the presence of the parties as well as of the lawyers are not required. But at my point of at my point of interview, all of these things were not there. So I told that there should be a central database system of all the cases where a party who may be sitting at Delhi or having his or her case at Mumbai, if it is a corporate dispute. So by putting the details, by inserting the details of his or her case, he or she may be knowing about the next date of hearing, the next date, the judges who are there in the bench. So it would be very kind of like informative to the people. Then I also because and then I linked it with the right to be informative is also a fundamental right under Article 21. So I always inserted constitution into my answers. The right to be informative about my own case is also should be is a fundamental right to a person. So it should be there. And the third thing what we talked about is that building the gap, working on the loopholes and maintaining the relationship between the bar and the bench, between the judges and the lawyer. There should not be any conversation gap between them. If there are any lacunas or if there is any problem faced by the bench, by the by the bar, who are the lawyers, so they may put before the bench who are the judges and who are there into the particular things, and because judiciary as an institution is comprised of bar and bench. So so due to this thing only, the things can be very much easily solved rather having a frictional opinion and creating a friction between them. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So there's also a question as to how do we choose our optional papers in the judicial services exams?
Optional papers are like if we talk about examination, there is no choosing of optional papers. If you go by the syllabus of the respective states, I think in Bihar they have this optional papers things, but I don't have much idea about the same. But what I would like to convey is choosing the optional papers. You should be very much able to decide between the two, which one would be more scoring. Because in Bihar, as I know that there is this paper of family law, which is an optional paper. Then there is administrative law as an optional paper. Then the constitution is also an optional paper. So where you have more opportunity of learning and where the law is being more like evergreen, you should not leave that subject. Administrative law, I don't think it has a very evergreen sector in comparison to the family law. So you should, because if you see family law, there has been a plethora of changes that is being done by the parliament as well as by the Supreme Court and the High Courts in their respective decision. So I think the areas where you can represent your ideas very well and which are not very flat subjects, like administrative law is totally a flat subject. There is I do not think that there is any substantial change into the administrative law. There are only particular things, delegated legislation, how delegated legislation can be done, what is when a discretion of a person can be challenged or not. It is more like of mugging rather than learning. You should always be keen towards the subjects in which you can learn. Family law is one of those subjects where you can learn a lot. Constitutional law, obviously, no doubt, you should not leave constitutional law because You can express a lot in constitutional law based on the case law that you have studied or based on your opinions that you think that there should be there. The more thing that I have missed is that, and people may have asked that what is the answer writing, answer writing in the mains examination? What should be the answer writing skills and how should we proceed for the same? So I have always divided this thing into four segments. The very first thing is to give a brief introduction or the brief rationale of the particular section that you're talking about or which is being talked about. The first thing comprises of the introduction and the jurisprudential essence of the same, the constitutional essence of the same or the jurisprudential essence of the same. Then we go for the particular section that they have asked. Then we go and explain up the only the ingredients. Go and explain the ingredients of the section. Do not go and learn and mug up the section as a whole. Rather than bifurcate the sections, learn it in parts, and then you should be not missing the ingredients. What is the essential ingredients that make that section? You should be knowing about that.
Right.
There is no requirement of mugging up the exact way of language that is written in the playwrights, and nobody can do it. So you should be rather focusing upon the ingredients of the particular section. What is that section is made up of? If those things are not there, that section is futile. The rationale is futile. The second thing that is should be there in your answer is this thing. The third thing is you should be writing if that thing relates to to a landmark case. If there is a landmark case upon that section, you should write a landmark case. Or if there is no landmark case upon in that section, you should be given an example or an illustration for your idea, because once you give an idea of once you give an illustration or for an example and you explain the section in the illustration, your very much purpose is solved, and the examiner knows that you know the fundamentals of law. You are well equipped with the ingredients that are required for the section. And the fourth and the important thing is to give a conclusion as well. The last two lines of the particular things, last two lines should be there as a conclusion. You should give a conclusion. No. So now, if I give you a model answer, I'll also discuss you a model answer with you. So, like if you are talk about if you talk about section 361, section 361 5 that talks about kidnapping from lawful guardianship. So when suppose this thing is asked in your mains examination, so how to approach and how to write this thing? You should be very firstly thinking about what is the idea and why kidnapping is there as an offense. How can we relate it to the constitution and to the jurisprudence of it? See, kidnapping basically is an offense because again you go back to constitution article 21, right to personal life and liberty. The personal liberty of a person is involved in this case when section 361 is talked about, when there is a kidnapping of a person. So his personal liberty of a person is endangered. So very first thing you can relate it. The second thing that you can relate is that what about the rights of the parents who are the lawful guardian of the child. Suppose a child is kidnapped from the lawful guardianship of any person, that the aggrieved mother, father, relative, family of a person has a right of custody upon the child, and which is guaranteed by the states by particular enactments. So for curbing this type of menace or the issue, there is the provision of kidnapping, that the personal liberty of the child is not taken away by anyone who is not authorized by the law. The second thing, the lawful custody of the guardian of the child is not lost and it is not violated. These two things are the jurisprudential and the constitutional essence, and you can very well relate it with Article 21. then you should be going with the ingredients of the section 361 as well, that it talks about that whoever entices or takes away a child out of the lawful custody of a person. Then there comes the words takes and entices. Now takes or entices are not the same words, though they, if they have been the same words, the the provision should not have mentioned them separately. You should be opening your minds while you are reading a section or a particular section. What I want to focus and bring to your knowledge is that takes is like a person just lifts away a child and he takes away takes away. The second thing is enticing is a much more kind an act of luring a person,
Yeah.
like spreading the if you spread biscuits, chocolates, or some currency notes, and the child is attracted towards it, and he follows a particular way of direction, and he comes out of his house, and then you take away. Then the first act that is done is enticing, that is luring of it. So I think these kind of things should be there in your answers, like the what do you mean by takes away, what do you mean by enticing, and out of the legal custody of a lawful guardian. These words should be there in your answer. These words should be there in your answer. Then you can support it with the case law, like the example that I gave. You can write an illustration for illustration. This means this means it. You can very well, like, law is a very beautiful subject, and it is much more beautiful when you apply your mind, and when you open your mind while reading it. When you connect it with other subjects, do not read a particular subject in light of only itself only. Suppose you are reading IPC, do not read IPC in an isolation. Read it with other corresponding acts as well. Constitution of India should always be in your mind wherever you are reading any kind of subject, be it CPC also, wherever you can relate Constitution of India, you should relate it. So because that gives a very good idea, and that is one of the best opening lines what a person can imbibe in his answer writing skills. So the jurisprudential or the constitutional essence of that particular provision should always be mentioned. For suppose if you also talk about why there is an offense of theft. So offense of theft is there because I am a lawful owner of a particular laptop or of a particular smartphone. So it is under my lawful custody. The state has a right to safeguard my safety as well as the things that I own, may it be the property, movable or immovable. So that there comes the idea of theft. Then nobody can be deprived of the lawful custody of the things that he owns, and no other person who violates can be wrongfully enriched by the same.
Yeah.
Like, so when you will apply this kind of things into your answer, it will make it more beautiful, and the examiner will also will get to know an idea that you know the fundamentals, and you will be exceptionally awarded for your writing skills. If you go for section 300 murder as well, why there is an offense of murder? Because again, going to article 21, personal life of a person is the most sacred thing that is sacrosanct to the Constitution of India, and that is being that nobody has the right to take away the life of the another person. This is there in the Constitution, except the procedure established by law. So murder as an offense forbids the same kind of brutal act of killing of a person, of homicide by killing of a person by another person. So this section 300 is there because to safeguard the life of a person, and his life is very much connected to Article 21. This can be very beautiful opening lines into your answer writing skills. Then you go for the actus reus and the mentioning of the section. Then you go for the landmark cases, as we have discussed that Bachchan Singh you can mention only one case law. Bachchan Singh you can mention, then you can conclude with it. That is very well enough. What is my point of view? What I can tell you is there may be people who have different art of answer writing skills, but this is one of the best way that I found.
Having discussed strategy to adopt the suggestions section, now I'd like to ask you one question. If not judicially, do you have any example, some person is a judicial services aspirant and he or she doesn't make it to judiciary, does he or she need to have a study or, you know, should they just give on trying judicial services over and again?
I just cannot hear you. Your voice is being disrupted. Can you just repeat the question again?
Yeah. So my question is, there are a lot of people who are judicial services aspirants. If a student is not able to get through judiciary, like, should they be having another plan, like another plan themselves, or should they just try and rewrite the exams over and over again? I don't have any other plan for that.
Yeah. For this question, from the starting of my video, I have told you that there should be this criteria of self-analysis. Self-analyze yourself. Why do you want to be a judge? The very first thing that you should be thinking about is, why do you want to become a judge? See, there would be very layman an answer that you may ask anyone to serve the society, for making them, bringing into for providing access to justice to people, speedy justice to people, and the right decision should go into their favor. But these things are in everybody's notion. But be very much honest to yourself. Why do you want to be a judge? The very first question should be, why do you want to be a judge? What qualities do you have that you think that you are capable of being a judge? The second thing, if you don't have those qualities, there are no particular qualities that are required to be a judge. In fact, if you do not have certain basic qualities, then I say you should always work upon that. And choosing judiciary and becoming judge is not the sole option that you have got from this as a law student. There are variety of options that is already there. Like we have talked about, that being a corporate lawyer. If you're more interested and you think that your life would be you would be more comfortable, and your passion is not judiciary, your passion is litigation or being into a corporate firm, then you should obviously go for corporate firm jobs and for the litigation as well. The thing that people run away from litigation is one of the main reasons. Those who do not have background is that there is a lot of struggle in litigation. You do not have an easy recognition. While you are a judge, you are easily recognized by persons once you are selected. But this is not the same in litigation. But litigation gives you an exposure and opportunities of certain other things what judgeship cannot give you. There are very much things which a litigating lawyer has, but a judge doesn't. But at the same way, there are many things what a judge has, but a litigating lawyer doesn't have. So you have to self-analyze and ask a basic question, that where do you want to see yourself from like 10 years from now, from 5 years from now, from 15 years from now? I think the answer would be there with you, because you will get an answer within yourself. One of my friends who is there in judicial services and being a topper, I am always advised by them that they have always seen themselves, that they have always been reminded that where do they see themselves from 5 years from now, from 10 years from now after graduation. So they thought that being a judge is one of the most best things that they can do. They are not seeing themselves as a good lawyer. They are not seeing themselves as good corporate lawyers, or they are not seeing themselves as other options which are there in the judiciary. So they thought to be a judge. So the very first thing is self-analyzing your qualities, your strengths, and do you really want to be a judge, or it is just like the herd is going into the same way and you are also approaching in the same way. Do not get pressurized by your parents.